All the people that are saying that the newest season of The Amazing World of Gumball has cringy or corny humor were not OG fans of the show. You did not grow up watching this shit, because if you did, you'd know that they were on that type of timing since the inception of the show. Granted, a lot of the people that grew up watching Gumball are a lot older now, and a lot of the humor that landed back then is no longer going to resonate with you now. Myself included, some of those jokes make me want to bang my head into a wall. Does that mean that the entire episode and the entire season is this piece of abysmal dog shit that needs to get wiped off the face of the earth? No, right? Like, the show is what the show is. I still laugh at some of the references. This is my first impressions of it. I haven't finished the entire season, and I really will need some more time to process and really compartmentalize all of the episodes before I can really give a review on it. But I'm seeing motherfuckers complain about the humor, and it's mainly people on Twitter. Surprise, surprise, people on Twitter are fucking miserable and can't enjoy anything. But like, bro, the season just came out. Like, you gotta give it some time to marinate. I am like the fucking biggest Gumball glazer. Even if the entire season really is a piece of shit, I'm still gonna glaze it regardless. As of now, for my first impressions, yes, some of the humor is a little bit corny. I'm obviously going to give that to you. Does that mean the entire thing is bad? We're going to have to wait and see. For now, I'm pretty entertained. Alright, so there are new Gerber allegations, and since I made a video defending him in the past, I think it's only right that I make a new one in light of everything that happened. So he lied about his name. His full government name is, in fact, not Gerber. It is Hunter. He also cheated on his girlfriend, and these are the two confirmed things. There's also a pretty long list of very nasty allegations like sexual assault, rape, following a girl home, trying to kill a girl, all very, very bad things. To my knowledge, 2 of the girls already came forward with proof that he didn't do anything, or at least proving him right that he's not doing the heinous things that he's getting accused of. And my previous video, and my previous stance, where I thought Gerber was this genuine guy who could do no wrong, is now in fact a load of malarkey, some absolute bullshit, because he did lie. He is a cheater, and he is a liar. I'm not really making this video to defend him, since frankly, I don't know how much I can trust the guy after he lied to me, and I know that nothing I say is going to please everyone, so I'll leave it at this. 2 stances that I've always been very firm on since the beginning is that number 1, false allegations can ruin someone's life, and they are a very serious thing. So I hope he does not get falsely accused. Number 2, his fan base is extremely volatile, and they scare me. Every time someone disagrees with him or does not see eye to eye with him, his fan base will then go on to attack that person and tell them to kill themselves and tell them all types of nasty things. If you are a fan of him and you do this on his behalf, I hope you know that you are doing a lot more harm than good. You are not doing any good. And I think that's all that I have to say. Guys, my neck hurts. And if I say it really quickly and really loudly, it sounds like I'm saying the hard R. Why is no one laughing? Saying the hard R really loudly is not the side-splitting comedy that you think it is. And I already know some of the comments are going to be on some bullshit like, new viral opinion dropped, 80% downloaded. If you really think it is a controversial take to not openly laugh at racism, then I don't know what you want me to tell you. You are just an unfunny drone with as much humor and personality as a cardboard box. And here's the thing, jokes about race can land if they are rooted in social commentary, and they have actual clever punchlines and setups to said joke. Lots of stand-up comedians have made entire careers out of this. Ruber Gaming does not have any of these luxuries. He is just painfully uncreative and unfunny. Wow, you said the word neck hurts really quickly, so it sounds like you're saying the hard R. That is really funny. I'm slapping my belly laughing, guys. I'm rolling on the floor. This is so hilarious. And to all the people saying, ugh, you guys are just so soft. Clearly, he has neck problems. His neck hurts. Why is nobody helping him? You guys are so soft. You're snowflakes. You're a bunch of pussies. All right, go say the hard R in public. Scream it as loud as you can and tell me how that goes. I do not want to get pounded by a Margwa. I keep seeing these fucking videos. 100 Perkaholics or get pounded by a Margwa. Hey, would you choose 100 Perkaholics or would you get pounded by a Margwa? Now this is a really hard decision. You know, I feel like it's a very easy choice to make, but let me walk through this hypothetical anyway. So I'm given 2 choices. I can either have 100 Perkaholics, which literally lets me become a superhuman. I'd have super speed, I'd have extra health. If somebody hits me, I shoot white stuff all over them because I have widow's wine. I could hold 3 guns, I could run indefinitely, and I could run faster. I would be a superhero. I would literally just be a superhero. Or I could get pounded by a Margwa. Now, here's the thing, right? What if the Perkaholics, what if they hurt my stomach? Like, what if I'm Perkaholic intolerant? And, you know, how many chances do you ever get to meet a Margwa? They don't even exist in real life. You would be the first person in history to ever get pounded by a Margwa. Okay, well, I'm not saying that I would choose the Margwa, but like, you know, if the Margwa's gentle, I don't know, I'd consider it. You know, have you ever met a Margwa? You don't know, maybe they're good at what they do. Besides killing you, they also might be good at other things. Who knows? The tentacles might come. People jerk off to Zootopia. This is common knowledge. We knew this. It's the equivalent of me going outside and telling you that the sky is blue. No shit. But the amount of people that are absolutely going wild and freaking out over the new Zootopia 2 trailer is starting to scare me. It's every 5 seconds I'm seeing a post thirsting over Nick Wilde or Judy Hopps. And like, bro, the movie hasn't even come out yet. I know Judy Hopps Lover 69 has the biggest fat fucking grin on his face. This is his Super Bowl. He's basically been waiting his whole life for this moment. More screen time of Judy Hopps. And after watching the trailer myself, I'm not going to say that Zootopia 2 is going to be this insane, groundbreaking movie, but I do think it will be successful, and I am going to watch it. The first one was good, so why wouldn't I watch the second one? And the people that are extremely attracted to them, although I might not share that trait with you guys, at the very least I can say that it's not illegal, because Nick Wilde is canonically 32, and Judy Hopps is canonically 24. So hey, if you want to jerk off to your anthropomorphic animals in a blockbuster digital animated movie, then who am I to stop? Also, I don't know if this is a hot take, but I personally like the bad guys more than I like Zootopia in terms of movies that have animals as the main characters. And Diane Foxington? I'm not gonna say anything. Why the fuck would you ban Cookie King? Out of all the people on your platform, you chose to ban the one guy who dedicates his entire account to shitposting, looking as bad as possible, and reselling shirts. That's all that he does. Yet, you felt the need to put the hammer down on his ass, and now he's gone. You know, it pains me to say it because I loved watching his videos. His videos are my version of baby sensory videos. You know how the babies, they need to watch those videos of like the fruits dancing with the black background and like they'll be entertained. They're gonna be like moths to a flame. Their eyes are just magnetized to it. Yeah, that's me with Cookie King videos. I would just scroll and scroll and scroll. I don't know why. You know, it's like I couldn't control it. My brain was just attracted. I just couldn't stop watching. I even bought his fucking shirt. I'm wearing the I don't like working out because it hurts shirt from his shop. And you know, my friend bought the same shit off Amazon half off and it came in 2 days. So that's when I realized I am the method. He fucking made a bag off me. But I don't even care. That's neither here nor there. At least I have my authentic, official Cookie King shirt. And every time I put it on, I always think of his fucking theme song. It's like, love for you, love for you. Like, you know the one. But yeah, it is unfortunate. It's a sad day. Free Cookie. I fucking hate those Roblox Yap videos with the parkour in the background and the AI generated voice. And I know when I say that, a lot of people might not agree with me. And I was really scratching my head and asking myself, what is it that I don't like about these videos so much? And I figured it out. They just combine 3 things that I don't like. The Griffin method, bad takes, and AI slop. All of these come together and in amalgamation to make a piece of shit. It's like when Professor Utonium was mixing up ingredients to make the Powerpuff Girls, but instead of sugar, spice, and everything nice, he just makes shit. Like there's 3 different variations of poop. And, you know, if you really feel the need to make these hot take videos and you have a burning passion to talk about how this is bad or this is good, I feel like you should at least use your voice. I don't know, is that like a crazy thing to say? I form no connection to the video when I'm watching Roblox parkour with an AI generated voice. It's the equivalent to going on YouTube Shorts and watching those videos of like Peter Griffin or X popular character explaining something with Minecraft parkour in the background. Sure, it'll entertain you for a few seconds, but it's like fast food content. It's just slop. It doesn't feel good to watch or consume. And I don't think the Griffin method is funny either. Slowing your voice down and speeding it up for comedic effect after the 40th time is no longer funny, it is overdone. And 99% of the time, these takes are extremely safe. These are like not hot takes at all. The most basic things that you can say in the world. Like, yeah guys, I think being racist is bad. And if you're a racist, you're a bad person. Like, okay. Or it's like just really unfunny jokes. Like if they try to sprinkle in some humor in there, it's not funny at all. Maybe I just don't find it funny, but that's what I personally think. False accusations can ruin someone's life. We have seen examples of this in the real world, and they should be taken pretty seriously because you are making very dire claims against another person. And I've been wanting to talk about this subject for a pretty long time, but why am I bringing it up now? Well, today, something very interesting happened that lets me perfectly segue into this topic. I was falsely accused today. Today, I was called a pedophile, and by who? By this brilliant mind over here. So let's really dive into this video and see just exactly what I did that warrants such an accusation. Raising the age of consent is an extremely interesting debate to me, and it's less so about the argument itself and more so about how people react to said debate.
Why is the guy who complained about Popstep, a fictional character, being sexualized talking about the age of consent? Did man touch some minors and saying to lower it because this man looked like PDF?
So they take the first couple seconds of my video where I'm talking about raising the age of consent and how I think raising the age of consent to 21 years old wouldn't be a bad thing. And they say that, oh, why is he trying to lower it? He looks like a pedophile. This guy likes kids. The funniest part is, this guy didn't even bother to look at the whole video because I'm arguing for raising the age of consent above 18. That's fucking reverse pedophilia, you moron. But, okay, I get it. Not everybody has cognitive function. He also is angry that I said Popstep's character design is heavily sexualized for a 15-year-old. I still stand by this, but I would love to hear what their reasoning for defending Popstep is.
Why are people complaining about a fictional character's outfit being sexualized? Like Popstep is not real, and everyone need put that energy into filling out a job application or something more productive.
So their main argument is that she's a fictional character, so it shouldn't matter what they dress her in. Whether you like it or not, fiction affects reality. And having a 15-year-old wearing a G-string and the shortest skirt known to man is probably not a good idea. And I still stand by that. And you know what they also say? They said that this is the problem with the left, that they won't allow sexiness. So you know what that sounds like to me? Oh, the left, they won't let me like children. Fuck, dude. This is why I hate the left. They won't let me sexualize 15-year-olds. Fuck these guys. I also took a brief moment to look through your following, and you follow Roblox, Rule 63, and Crystal Lust. You know what that tells me? You are a gooner. You are a genuine loser, and you have the shittiest takes known to man. Why? Because when you don't like someone and you don't like their opinions, you call them a pedophile. That is genuinely what you just did. And you didn't tag me in that video because you knew that I would be able to disprove you faster than the blanks that you shoot to the porn stars that you follow. And I'll end the video off with this. He made this little like picture of me as the cover for the post. He's like, oh, he touched 10,000 minors. He's a woke lib. I don't think I can say that last word. And the last thing is also just a slur. But here's the thing, if you don't like the takes that someone makes on the internet, you are 100% in your own right to disagree. That's fine, that's perfect. Can you call people pedophiles just because you don't like them? No. No, you cannot do that. And I know why you don't attach your face or your voice to any of the videos that you make. It's because you know your takes are shit. And you know that anybody with half a brain sees that you are a genuine lobotomite, a troglodyte, a caveman, incapable of forming coherent thought. So, I'm gonna tag you in this video. You didn't tag me in mine, but I'll definitely tag you in this one, and I know you're gonna see it, so I hope you like it. I love predators, and I'm not talking about the ones that like kids. I'm talking about these guys. The Yautja, the alien hunters from the Predator series, are probably some of my favorite monsters in all of fiction, and I think what I love most about them is their philosophy towards killing, because they don't just mindlessly slaughter whoever they come across, they value the kill. They only respect earned kills. That's one of the 13 rules that they live by, and you can see it in all the times that they appear, that they don't kill pregnant women, or the helpless, or the unarmed. They only go for worthy targets. And I've seen every single movie in the Predator franchise, including Alien vs. Predator, which is the little, mashup of the two. And although some movies were definitely a lot better than others, I'm making this video because I want to talk about the most recent installment in the franchise, Predator Killer of Killers. This animated movie is deadass top 3 animated things that we've seen this year. This shit is so goated. Oh my. I'm not going to go into spoiler territory here because I genuinely think it would be a disservice for you not to watch this movie yourself and see how good it was. But I'm going to outline 2 main reasons why I love this movie so much and why, in my opinion, it's probably one of the best Predator movies that they have in the franchise. Number 1 is going to be the variety. In this movie, we don't just see one central predator that chases people around throughout the entire movie. We see 3 different predators for each chapter that's inside of the movie, because the movie is split into 3 chapters. And then the final one might count as a chapter 2, I guess, but we see 3 different predators who are all pretty distinct from one another and have different fighting styles and have different methods of killing their prey. And that is extremely cool to see as part of the audience, because you get to see how different predators interact with the specific people that they choose to hunt with and what weaponry and means of targeting them they go with. And that is just so fucking goated. Anyways, part 2. The second thing that I absolutely love is how this movie does something that we've never seen before in any other Predator movie. It splits the film into chapters. We no longer follow one central group of people that the Predator chases around for the entire movie and murks one by one. No, this is completely different. We now see 3 separate stories of completely different people who all intertwine at the end of the movie. But we have Ursa, who's the Nordic Viking leader girl. We have Kenji, who is the samurai. And we have John J. Torres, who is the military pilot. Each one of these stories is so entertaining to watch. And what makes it even better is that the fight scenes are vastly different. Every single one of the fight scenes for each of the chapters varies extremely because these people come from completely different backgrounds and the Predators have to adjust to that. And it is a huge breath of fresh air to see some life like this be breathed back into the franchise after following the same formula for so long. This movie is genuinely in my top 3 animated films for the year, probably number 1, and definitely my favorite film in the entire Predator franchise. It is just that good. And once you see the ending, and you see all the crazy shit that happens, it's just that much better. But it is a beautifully made film, some amazing fight scenes, and I highly, highly recommend it. I love Predators, man. You know, I thought Low Tier God had the biggest haters in all of the internet, but Lowe's fans deadass might give him a run for his money. I wouldn't even call his fan base a fan base. These motherfuckers are a hate base. They do not like this guy. If you listen to the donations that they put through his chat and then they tell him, he fucking reads that shit out loud with such disappointment. Like, what the fuck do you mean, Los, the minute you step into Milwaukee, your name will become an urban legend? Like, these are just death threats. And the worst part is, this guy's haters are funny as fuck. So every single time that they send the message, I can't help but laugh. And I feel a little bad because Los didn't do anything, right? Low Tier God and Los both have pretty determined groups of haters, but Los didn't even do anything. At least you can hate on Low Tier God because he was a deadbeat father and he tells people to kill themselves. He's just like not a good guy. So it's pretty justified when people send hate to him. But Los is dead at just being himself. Like he's just streaming, making content, and then he'll get a donation that says, turn off cam and mute up. I remember there was also an entire Los thinks he matters trend. And then there was a trend that followed that one where it was like Los does matter. And then it had like motivational music with him sipping champagne on the beach. And you know, moral of the story is his haters are funny as fuck. Like they might rival Low Tier God haters. Dare I say it, they're better because they're pretty creative with it. But I don't know, like Low Tier God haters are on another level. So I guess what I want to end it off with, Los, great guy. Fucking, he's funny. I like watching his clips sometimes. And does he deserve the hate? Probably not. Low Tier God absolutely deserves it. Would you rather be a transgender dinosaur in the Cretaceous period or a schizophrenic plumber in modern day? If you choose option 1, you are now a fully sentient dinosaur capable of complex thought inside of a T-Rex's body, but you suffer from extreme gender dysphoria and you identify as a secret third gender that there is no fossil record for and there never will be. Even though you're the smartest dinosaur in the world, you're also the only one of your kind, meaning you have no way to communicate. You exist in a period before language and voices were even a concept. So the most that you can do is grunt, roar, and poke things with a stick. But you can't talk or communicate to any of your dinosaur buddies. You are extremely alienated, and as a result, you're outcast from all of your dinosaur friends because they think you're fucking weird. You also suffer from extreme hormonal imbalances that give your body problems later down the line, but since you're a dinosaur in the Cretaceous period, there's nothing that you can do about it, so you kind of just have to deal with it for the rest of your life. So, for the last 10 years that you're alive, you live as an outcast with no friends, struggling to find food, and just always fighting to survive. And then in 10 years, the asteroid that wipes out all the dinosaurs hits Earth, but it doesn't just hit Earth, it hits you directly. You are the first dinosaur to ever be extinct. If you choose option 2, you are now a 5'2", 300-pound working-class plumber who lives in a moldy apartment by themselves with no prospects, no dreams, and no aspirations. And you constantly hallucinate about the game Mario. And every time that you're at your job and you see a Goomba and you stomp on it, you're actually stomping on a little kid's head and you just kill a little kid. Whenever you think that you're beating Bowser, you actually just murdered a grown, innocent man who did nothing wrong. So as you keep working your job and you receive no benefits and no pay, eventually the people of the city just get tired of your schizophrenic rampage and they send you to get the death sentence. So you don't really get to do much work as a plumber. And you also have the strongest case of schizophrenia that modern psychology has ever seen. So your life from ages like 1 through 20 before you develop schizophrenia is pretty chill, but then after that your life just keeps going downhill, and no one thinks to treat you because you're seen as a monster and not a human. So that is my hypothetical transgender dinosaur or schizophrenic plumber. If I'm being honest, I would rather be the transgender dinosaur, because even though I would have some issues and I would be pretty lonely, I think it'd be pretty cool to live in the Cretaceous period and actually get to see dinosaurs with my own 2 eyes, even though I'd be dead in a couple years. But if I was a schizophrenic plumber, I would literally just live a normal human life but 10 times worse. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. You guys remember that vegan teacher, the online activist who would preach veganism and call anybody that ate meat a murderer? I started thinking about her, and she genuinely is one of the worst things that has ever happened to vegans ever. Like, not only did she turn veganism into a cult that nobody wanted to associate with, she made all vegans look bad in the process. She was basically a lolcow for basically the entire span of her popularity on the internet. On top of that, her methods of trying to quote-unquote educate people on veganism are just fucking stupid. She also tried to reclaim the hard R by making an acronym that was positive. Like, it was a YouTube video where she was like, this black girl is nice and intelligent, and I'm not going to spell the rest out, but you can connect the dots. Yeah, I don't need to be the first to tell you that was incredibly tone-deaf and stupid, and you're not achieving anything by trying to reclaim a slur. And the reason I say she's the worst thing that ever happened to vegans is because she alienated a lot of people from ever becoming vegan by being so insufferable. She would call anybody that ate meat a murderer, a killer, a hypocrite, a bad person. She would say that the artificial insemination of cows is the equivalent to a human being raped. And, you know, I feel like if you're truly trying to advocate for any sort of problem, it has to be rooted in empathy and constructive agreement and not just calling out the people who disagree with you. But yeah, she was definitely an enigma, man. Every once in a while, I think of that one song she made where she's like, eating animals is wrong, McDonald's. Hurting animals is wrong, McDonald's. I forgot the rest, but yeah, she was getting fucking fried by middle schoolers on IG Reels every single day. I don't know if I'm looking at this with rose-tinted glasses or not, but where the fuck are all the fan songs? I remember when I was younger, fan songs were on a generational run, especially the Five Nights at Freddy's songs. Oh my god, Join Us for a Bite, Below the Surface, Never Be Alone. Like, you could not look at a Five Nights at Freddy's fan song and have it be bad. They were just dropping bangers after bangers. And I feel like communities like that are just not alive anymore. And this isn't just limited to Five Nights at Freddy's, because I remember so many other games that got popular and had these dope-ass fan songs made about them, like Just Monica, Basics in Behavior, the fucking Cuphead rap. No Mercy, dude. I don't think Overwatch has ever gotten another fan song on the same level as No Mercy, in terms of popularity or in just how fucking catchy it was. Nowadays, you don't even see half as many fan songs as they would put out back in the day, and none of them are on the same level as the OG ones either. And I don't know if that's just me being nostalgic and looking at it with rose-tinted glasses because I was younger when I listened to those, and I look back on them fondly now, but I don't know. Is the golden age of fan songs past us and we've already experienced it and we're just never gonna get it again? Because, man, I wasn't even a part of the Undertale fandom, but I still remember listening to the fucking Stronger Than You Sans version. There was like a Sans version and a Frisk version, bro. I don't even know who the fuck Frisk is. I never played Undertale, but I still knew her name because of how big the song was. And now, I don't know. I just feel like there's not that much of a burning passion in a roaring community for fan songs as there was back then. And man, do I mourn the loss. I'm gonna go watch K-pop Demon Hunters so I can review it tomorrow, and I just wanted to make this video to document my thoughts pre-movie. People are saying that it's good. I have people recommending it to me. There are also people saying that it's unfunny millennial humor, so I guess I'll be the judge of that. From the looks of it, does seem like an extremely well-animated, expressive movie, and I absolutely love that. I can't thank Spider-Verse enough for what they did to the 3D animation industry, specifically in movies, really popularizing it. Oh my god, yes, bro. But K-pop Demon Hunters is definitely not a name that I would have predicted I'd be uttering out my mouth for a movie, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. Growing up, I was never one of those edgy kids that thought gore was cool and I would go out of my way to watch it because I'm so badass, but I still took it upon myself to watch gore anyway. And I know when I say that, some people might be confused. The reason I did this was, in my naive, underdeveloped brain, when I was like 15, 16, I thought to myself, if I can stomach watching the most grotesque imagery that I can possibly find, I can handle anything. It was sort of my way of feeling like an adult, like I had hair on my balls, like I was a real man's man and nothing could faze me. Dumb way of thinking, I know, but I did it regardless. So I found this iceberg. It was like a really big iceberg, like the gore iceberg, like all the grossest, most dark things on the internet that you can possibly find. And as you went down, obviously the things got worse. And when you got all the way to the bottom, it was just snuff films, like really shitty horror movies that were quite literally just gore. But one of the things that was in that iceberg was called the Gauntlet Challenge. Now, before I tell you this story, I highly, highly implore you not to search up what that is and not to watch it. I'm begging you not to do that. And I know when I say that, it's gonna be reverse psychology. Motherfuckers are gonna do it anyway. But don't say that I didn't warn you. Don't watch it. Don't fucking watch it. But let me go back to my story. So The Gauntlet is this website that has a series of 15 levels. Each level is one video that is hard to watch. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. Just straight gore. Pretty grotesque things, pretty gross things. Each level got progressively worse until you made it to level 15. Once you beat level 15, you have beaten the gauntlet and you get nothing. Literally nothing. You just do it to do it. And I wanted to do it. I saw this challenge and I thought to myself, this is my golden ticket. This will be my badge of honor to prove to myself that I am truly an adult capable of handling anything that life throws at me. So not only did I take it upon myself to watch it, I also coerced some of my friends to watching it with me. And we watched it during lunch. We didn't even make it past like level 2 or 3 before someone in the group had to call it quits and go throw up in a trash can outside. And bro, I don't think it was that bad looking back on it, but you have to keep in mind that we are 15, 16-year-olds watching someone's arm bend the wrong way for the first time, so I can definitely see how this would have been pretty scarring to some, including myself. I finished watching it on my own time, and I gained nothing from it. I thought that I would be like a better, stronger person after watching it, and I didn't. I just struggled to sleep for the first 3 nights after I watched it, and then for the rest of my life, I would just look back on that moment and like, huh, why the fuck did I do that? But yeah, I never really thought gore was cool to this day. I still think the motherfuckers who think gore is super cool and amazing are some cornballs, like some really fucking lame people. The moral of the story is, what you don't know won't hurt you. Ignorance is bliss. You really shouldn't go out of your way to see everything. Some things in life are just better left unseen, and now I'm a happier person because I choose to not interact with any of that. You know, it makes me happy, it makes me have a good day, so that's what I'm gonna do. But yeah, that's all I want to say. Would you rather get reincarnated as a Labubu who gets bought out by a guy that has a Labubu fetish, and all that he does is collect Labubus, put them in cum jars, and do, you guessed it, with the Labubus? And let me paint the picture. You are now in the doll. Your soul is trapped inside this doll. You can never get it out. All you can do is observe. You can still think complex thoughts, but you cannot speak, you cannot move. The only thing that works are your eyes. So you will be able to watch everything that happens to you, but you will be absolutely powerless to stop it. Or would you rather be forced to watch Love Island on repeat in an infinite loop for the rest of your life? You are now going to be locked in a white room surrounded by flat screen TVs. All of them are playing Love Island on max volume on repeat forever. You can never turn them off. You will get no water, no food, no sunlight, but you won't be able to die. So you'll be in a perpetual state of agony as you're forced to watch the show. These are your two options: Cum Jar Labubu or Infinite Love Island. You know, this is pick your reward, right? I've been smiling at this picture for a good 3 minutes because holy fuck, how do you fall for the rage bait this bad? I don't even know what the full context of this photo is, and honestly, I don't even want to know. This picture says a million words without even having to utter a single sentence. What happened to Jordan Peterson? Why is he a tomato? Why is this dude quite literally on the verge of tears? And then the other dude is fucking sipping coffee with a big fat smile on it. I know he's smiling behind that coffee cup. That's the reason he's fucking drinking it. He doesn't want Jordan Peterson to see him trying not to laugh his ass off. But, you know, it begs the question, what was the context of all of this? I know that Jordan Peterson, he's like a debater. I don't know the other guy's name, but I've definitely seen him around on the internet. This is a generational photo. Up there with the Squid Game celebration, and I'll think of another one eventually. But bro, this is top tier rage bait. This is some of the greatest rage bait that I've ever seen, and I don't even know the context of the clip. This is up there when Stephen A. Smith was rage baiting on Fox News. Bro, it's up there with the greats. Holy fuck. This photo made my day. I looked at this photo today, I started giggling for a few minutes, and then I just started staring at it smiling. Like, damn, that really happened? Like, this is a real photo? Oh my goodness, bro. That was a good one. Do y'all remember Mighty Magiswords? Oh my goodness, this show was absolute peak. One of my favorite Cartoon Network shows. I remember watching this growing up, and I'd be hype as fuck every single episode because there had no bad episodes. And I'm looking back on it now, and I saw they only had like a 4.7 out of 10 rating on IMDb. Yeah, those dudes are wrong. Fuck those guys. Mighty Magiswords was goated. I really like the concept of having different magical weapons and the different types of weapons that they got to use, like the different swords, and their powers were all super duper cool to me. That shit was peak. I don't know why they discontinued it after 2 seasons, bro. They should have kept going. Now, I know the creator of Mighty Magiswords, Kyle A. something, was arrested on accounts of having CP. So this could have potentially played a part in the show being discontinued. I'm not sure how the whole timeline went, but man, I remember watching Mighty Magiswords as a kid. I really, really liked the show. Growing up, I thought to myself, damn, why did they go away? Like, this shit was so good. Now that I'm learning about what the creator did, it's starting to make sense. I'm connecting the dots. But man, Mighty Magiswords, absolute peak. The fact that the creator had CP definitely takes some points away from the show for me. I like to pretend that he didn't even make it. It just popped out of existence. Fuck that dude. But yo, Mighty Magiswords, that's my go. Vambrae, she's bad as fuck. Going on Reddit is like trying to have sex with a pile of fire ants. It's going to be painful. You're not going to enjoy it. And you probably won't come out the same way that you came in. But my friend, put me onto this one specific subreddit that I can't stop thinking about because it's genuinely an anomaly. Like, this shit, I can't even begin to explain how this came to be. It's a subreddit dedicated to people making food, but the people who make the food hate their lives. And all that the subreddit is dedicated to is sending the most self-deprecating posts that you can think of alongside what they ate for dinner / lunch / breakfast. And I don't know, some of them fucking crack me up. So I want to share like my top 2 or 3 posts that I found on here. Tasty chorizo dinner pot, but it doesn't even matter because my Chud family didn't take a single bite. Ate it all like the fat fuck that I am. Apple crisp pie looks like shit. I'm such a piece of shit loser. The things I've done make me an unforgivable villain. Pie tasted like shit. I can't do anything right. And I had to censor like one of the sentences because he said some no-no words. Shared some garbage with the only living creature who cares about me. This subreddit is such an enigma, such a unique specimen, a once-in-a-lifetime anomaly that I've never before seen in my life. How do you combine eating good food, like some of the food in these pictures look good as fuck, that chorizo dinner, that shit looks good as hell, with hating your life? Like, how do these two coincide? I don't know if these people are being satire or if they genuinely hate their lives, but it's Reddit, so I'm gonna assume they genuinely hate their lives. But man, out of all the subreddits on the internet, I think this is by far the most interesting one because they're not really hurting anyone, and they're also posting food. And like, it's just such a combo that I never thought would have existed. But the new Superman movie just blew the hair off my testicles and left me mouth agape in utter awe and amazement. This movie was peak. Oh my goodness, James Gunn has done it. He's done it again. This movie was absolute cinema. Holy shit. I'm gonna give a spoiler-free review since I highly encourage you to watch it yourself, but this version of Superman is by far my favorite. I like it a lot more than Man of Steel, and I know a big pain point in the movie, people didn't like the fact that Superman was getting bitched, that he was losing fights, that he wasn't as badass or as dark as he was in Man of Steel. And to the people that think that, the only thing that I can tell you is shut the fuck up. If you like Man of Steel so much, then go rewatch the movies. But this version of Superman feels so much more lived in. He feels more fleshed out. He feels more human, which, you know, I'm gonna regurgitate the same TikTok opinion that has been said a million times in comment sections, but James Gunn really did focus more on the man side of Superman. And focused the entire movie around that, and it was peak. That shit was goated. Not only was Superman an amazing character throughout the entire film, the supporting cast, Mr. Terrific, Green Lantern, Lois Lane, forgot what the hot girl was called. That one guy who has a hot girl fawning over him for the entire movie, but he doesn't like her because her toes look ugly. Bro, everybody was absolutely amazing. Lex Luthor as the main antagonist for this movie. Oh my goodness, bro. I can't glaze this movie enough. I really think the direction that they went with, making Superman more of a, you know, real person instead of just the strongest superhero of all time, or the vibe that they try to go with in Man of Steel. This shit was amazing. I absolutely love this. The 2 post-credit scenes were pretty funny too. Bro, Mr. Terrific, they did Mr. Terrific such amazing justice. I would argue that he's my favorite character in the entire movie. Oh my goodness. Crypto, the dog, he was cool too. I'm not gonna say anything else. Absolutely amazing watch. I want to talk about the greatest antagonist in the entire Toy Story franchise, Lotso Huggin' Bear from Toy Story 3. We're gonna call him Lotso for short. Lotso is the teddy bear plush that rules the Sunnyside daycare with an iron fist, and at the start of the movie, we're made to believe that he's a good guy. He's a sweet southern teddy bear with a comforting voice who just wants to help all of his toy friends. Wrong. He is a dictator. He uses fear, manipulation, and he is almost a cult leader within the Sunnyside daycare. But Lotso wasn't always the ruthless villain that he is in the movie, because originally he was loved by a girl named Daisy. Daisy accidentally left him behind on a trip, and this made him think that she abandoned him on purpose. This completely breaks his idea of bond between child and toy, and that emotion turns into resentment. And then he becomes of the notion that if you don't have an owner, you will never be heartbroken, like the day that he was heartbroken when Daisy left him. And that is what turns him into the villain of the movie. And you know why I absolutely love Lotso as an antagonist? It's because he is quite literally a parallel mirror to Woody, our main character. Lotso and Woody are 2 sides of the same coin. They are both leaders. They both deeply care about loyalty. They have both faced abandonment. But Woody chooses faith and love and compassion, whereas Lotso chooses hate, resentment, and control. And that is what makes them so different but so similar at the same time. And that's why I fucking love Lotso. Lotso works as a villain because he's not just the evil bad guy that we're supposed to be rooting against for the entire movie. He's broken. He's a fallen hero. He's a toy who once felt the love of a child, and once he lost that love, he felt immense pain. That pain dictated his entire worldview and turned him into the bear that he is today. That's why he runs Sunnyside Daycare the way that he does, like a dictator, because he wants to heal, but his method of healing is not to open up, but to make sure that you can never feel love again. And he's just a really, really great villain. Absolutely love Lotso. Toy Story 3 is probably the best Toy Story movie out there in my opinion, and that's all I have to say. I just witnessed the craziest YouTube video in existence. This Overwatch content creator called Gaming for Hope dropped a response video to all the allegations that he's facing, and all that I can say is what the fuck do they got going on in the Overwatch community? Look at his allegations! How do you even get accused of this many things? Neglecting my children? KKK member? Nazi? Unemployed? Oh my goodness! And, you know, I don't know this guy personally. In fact, I don't know him at all. This is my first impression of him, but all that I can say is that one of these has to be true. Bro, how do you get accused of grooming your wife? That's your wife. How old is your wife? I mean, to his credit, right? I did watch the video. And he did give logical explanations to every single one of the allegations that he's facing. But holy fuck, bro. You know that one Minecraft achievement called How Did We Get Here? Where you need to have every single status effect in the game at the same time in order to get it? I feel like this dude just got the real life version of that achievement. How did we get here? What could you have possibly done to get accused of doing this many things? And bro, I don't know, the entire video was just fucking frying me. Because beforehand, the thumbnail hadn't updated for the timestamps, so he was just doing this pose for every single one of the allegations, bro. Oh my god, I was laughing my ass off. But, you know, I guess he beat the allegations. I don't know. I feel like one of these has to be true. I don't know if I said that in the video already, but if you get accused of this many things, bro, you can't beat every single one of the allegations. You just can't do it. One of these, he's definitely fucking lying. Oh. Tatsuki Fujimoto is one of the most unique manga artists on the planet because he's just so odd. He is so weird. You will be hard-pressed to find any other human being with a similar backstory to him. Let me think back to all the things that I know that he's done for sure, or that he said. The first one, he used to roleplay as an 8-year-old girl on Twitter, and he got so good at doing it that Twitter banned his account because they thought it was genuinely a minor running that Twitter account. And then he had to go on an ult and beg to get unbanned, but nobody believed him, not even his editor. So he had to leak like never before seen Chainsaw Man images or art in order for them to believe that it was actually him. What are we doing? Also, he once had a pet goldfish, and the pet goldfish died, and he ate the pet goldfish. And it made him really sick. You know, go figure. You know, looking back on this story, that definitely explains the ending of the first arc of Chainsaw Man. Third thing, he admits to just being a masochist. Like, he just likes mean girls. He said that one time in college, a girl pushed his bike over, and he didn't even get mad, it just turned him on. Which, once again, explains some of the characters that he's written, but I digress. Chainsaw Man is an interesting manga. I haven't watched the anime, I've only read the manga. Some of the characters are pretty decent. I'd say Denji is a pretty well-written character, contrary to what most people might believe. But the guy behind it, Fujimoto, bro, this dude is just like, I don't even know what to say about him. I'll say this, he didn't participate in that one tribute drawing for Rurouni Kenshin, so I respect him, but I also can only respect him so much. He is just an enigma. He is unique. Would you rather have a penny that doubles every single time someone lies to you, or be fluent in every single language? I'll explain both. If you choose the first option, one magical penny is now transferred into your bank account and it doubles every single time somebody lies to you. And this can be any sort of lie, even a white lie. Like if someone says they're fine when they're not actually fine, that also counts as a lie. The only caveat to this option is that it has to happen naturally. You can't walk up to someone and tell me, hey, tell me that the sky's purple 10 times so I can double my penny. No, no, no. That's not going to count. The lie has to happen normally, either in conversation or whatever situation you might be in, but it can't be a forced lie. The penny will know if it's a forced lie and it won't double. But besides that, you basically have a built-in lie detector at all times. If someone lies to you, you're going to know because the penny doubled. If they're telling the truth, the penny won't double. On top of that, you'll probably be the richest human being on the planet within a couple days, and you'll be set for life. You'll never have to work again. If you choose the second option, you are now fluent in every language, past, present, and future. And it's not just limited to languages that you talk with. This also includes body language, coding languages. You're fluent in JavaScript, Lua, Python. It doesn't matter. If it has language attached to it, you are now fluent in that specific thing across multiple different languages. Any language that you can imagine, even forgotten dialects that nobody speaks or knows of anymore, you're fluent in them and you know them like the back of your hand. You're not just conversationally fluent, you have complete mastery over this language. With this power, you also could get very rich. You would be the global translator. You would be probably the most valuable human being on the planet. Your knowledge would be greater than anyone else that's alive. And that's basically the second one. If I had to choose which one of these two options I'm going with, I'm honestly going to go with knowing every single language, because don't get me wrong, a magical penny that doubles in value every single time someone lies to you is very, very good. You're going to be filthy rich in no time. I feel like at some point you're going to be too rich. So rich to the point where you yourself cause inflation because of how much money you have, and at that point money's going to be worthless. But if I knew every single language, I could just get rich organically, and I'd still retain all my knowledge, and I'd still be the most valuable human being on the planet, and I would just get rich regardless. Sure, it would take a little more effort, but not that much effort. Hub's life is a prime example of the man who's fed forgets how it felt to starve. If you don't know who Hub's life is, he's a guy who's getting a lot of hate right now. He started his entire online community over being a 9-to-5 worker. He would make videos, my life as a 9-to-5 worker. He would document it, they would get millions and millions of views, garner a lot of attention, and he would gain a pretty large fan base over just being a normal person, documenting his life, and making it seem like the 9-to-5 life is a good thing. It's something that should be celebrated and not feared. That was his entire motto, that working a 9-to-5 is nowhere near as bad as people make it seem to be, and you can find joy in life regardless of whether you work a 9-to-5 or you don't. And he was preaching a good message, but the millisecond, that this guy started making more money off of social media than he was at his job, he quit his job. And now, he's just begging for galaxies and gifts on his live, and I don't know, bro, this type of fall-off has to be studied, because holy shit, he went from having an entire fan base that loved him for being authentic, for sharing his life, for being truthful to the person that he was, to a genuine shell of what he used to be. And I was watching clips of his live. Not only was he begging for galaxies, but when somebody would give him a gift that wasn't a galaxy, like a rose, he would be like, huh, that's not a galaxy, guys, what are we doing? Give me a galaxy. are you serious? Like, what an ungrateful fuck. Oh my goodness. On top of that, you know, a lot of people say that he committed a rug pull. No, he didn't. We're forgetting what rug pull means. But I think that he was dishonest. That he was extremely dishonest with his audience, and that's why he's getting as much hate as he is. I'll clarify. His initial, is that how you say it? His first message of just being a 9-to-5 worker and not dreading your life and hating every second of it was completely fine. That was a good message. He was just trying to live his life and share his experiences with other people. The second that he switched up, oh my goodness, he just became insufferable. And now he disabled his comments because he's just flooded with hate comments, which I'm not going to say he deserves it. It's not like he committed a cardinal sin, but he's definitely fucking lame. And I can see why people don't like him. Low tier God is just a gift that keeps on giving. I know I've already made like 2 videos on him. I don't even give a fuck, bro. I've been looking at some of his fits over the years, and they are genuinely frying me. So I want to go over the top 3. This one is by far my favorite. I've been laughing at this shit for a good 2 minutes. What are we wearing, bro? Why does he have a BDSM mask on? Why are the jeans so tight? And why is the coat so big? He looks like one of those goons from a Lego Batman game when you have to fight off the bad guys before you can get to the final boss. Like, I don't know. I think the fit would be fine if he just didn't wear that mask. I don't know. It just looks like a BDSM mask. It looks like a ski mask, but with a mouth hole. Like, what do you need the mouth hole for? Coming in at number 2, we have the Omnitrix fit, mean and green ass fit. I don't know, bro. I think the skinny jeans are really what throws me off. That, and there's just a lot of green in this picture. Green on the shoes, green on the shirt, green on the neon lights in the background. I just don't think green is really his color. It doesn't really complement his features that well. And everything is just really tight. Last but not least, we have the Freddy Krueger fit. This one is truly iconic. He has the claws and everything. He knew exactly what the theme was, and he executed it to the highest degree. What I don't understand is what the obsession is with having these tight-ass fucking clothes. He genuinely would look a lot better in these fits if they were just a little bit more loose. Because he doesn't even have a bad build. He's muscular, but he just chooses to dress like he's shrink-wrapped at all times. Like somebody just sucked the life out of all of his clothes, and all he has left are like triple extra small kitty clothes. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing, bro? These fits, they're my top 3, but there is so many more. There are a lot more that are... We could definitely go over those, but these are my top 3. I fucking... Fumbling your first bad bitch is a tale as old as time. And if you're a dude, it's either gonna happen to you, or it already did. So sit down and let me share my personal anecdote of my own experience with this male canon event. This story takes place in my sophomore year of high school, and I'm friends with this girl who we're gonna call Isabella. Now, Isabella had liked me since freshman year, but I was not privy to this information. Looking back on it, there were a lot of signs, but I just never picked up on them. You live and you learn. Now, fast forward to sophomore year. She's still friends with me, and after enough hints, I finally get it through my thick skull that this girl likes me. And at the time, I was extremely attracted to this girl. I mean, way out of my league. So you can imagine how ecstatic I was to hear these news. I acted on them, I asked her out, and we start dating. Now, I'm gonna use the term dating in air quotes because that shit was more so like a 1-month Netflix free trial than it was anything serious. But it was my first girlfriend of my lifetime, so you can imagine how I felt. Eventually, things, I don't really know, nothing really went bad, but she just broke up with me. Why this happened to this day, she never really gave me a clear answer, but obviously I could connect the dots and just assume that she wanted to go get with another guy, which she was plotting on another dude. Soon after we broke up, so that was the fumbling. But the story gets deeper. Now, when this first happened, I was fucking, oh my god, bro. I was moving like 2018 Juice WRLD on some broke my heart, oh no you didn't, fuck sipping, I'ma down a whole bottle, hard liquor, hard truth can't swallow. I was going through all 7 stages of grief. Shit, I might have even discovered a secret 8th one while I was there. But what I'm trying to say is that when she broke up with me, I was extremely sad. And I was yearning, fiending to get back together with her. And I hoped that if I just closed my eyes and pretended that she liked me hard enough, eventually she would come back to me. Spoiler alert, never happened. But like I said, the story goes a little bit deeper. Fast forward to senior year, my final year of high school. It is Christmas break. And on a random night during Christmas break, very, very late at night, midnight, she messages me my number. She texts my number. And this was a little bit peculiar because why would she be texting me of all people? She tells me this whole thing about how she broke up with her boyfriend and this and that. And I was so confused. I was like, why are you telling me this? And then she starts asking me, if I liked you again, what would you say? Or like, if I told you that I still liked you, what would you do? And at this point, you know, a little light bulb went up in here. I connected the dots. She was trying to spin my block again. I was basically the rebound guy because she just dumped her boyfriend. Now, I want you to keep in mind, she's telling me this the day that it happened. Which is, you know, so much for mourning the relationship, but whatever. She tells me this. And in this moment, obviously, I have self-respect. I didn't get back with her. But in this moment, I felt so weird because I didn't feel anything. You know, sophomore year me when I was a little sophomore, I would have yearned to have this opportunity. I would have slimed out my homeboys. I would have killed my day ones to be in the shoes of senior year me at that moment. But as a senior, as current day me, well, I'm not a senior anymore, but you get it, right? Now that I was older, I looked at this and I felt nothing, you know? How does the saying go? Time heals wounds, but it also erases attachment. I felt absolutely nothing for this girl anymore. In fact, I almost felt disdain when I interacted with her, to the point where I just didn't like her at all. So, needless to say, I didn't really take this offer. I'll explain it in Fortnite terms for my younger audience out there. what I once thought was a golden scar now looked like a gray pistol to me, if that makes sense. I just didn't really like her anymore in any sort of way, and I couldn't bring myself to even pretend to want to get back with her. But it was very odd, so much for mourning the relationship. Keep in mind, she tells me that she broke up with her boyfriend the day that it happened. This was just like under 24-hour speedrun type shit. But like I said, I didn't get back. Moral of the story, fumbling your first attractive girl is gonna hurt. More than the second, the third, the fourth, those shits won't even matter in comparison to the first. But it has to happen. It builds character, and like Kanye said, everything I'm not made me everything I am. I am an extremely happy man, even more happy that I didn't take that offer. I don't know, bro, the robe comes on, I just start feeling this wisdom flooding inside me. But that's all I want to say. That's my